And cut! My voice, a razor-sharp blade of smugness, sliced through the old man sobbing on the floor. Pete, my 60-year-old actor, instantly stopped trembling. The streak of glycerin on his wrinkled cheek glistened under the softbox light like real tears. "How'd I do, boss?" he asked, his voice snapping back to professional. "A tragic masterpiece," I smirked, lowering the camera. "Our buddy Nathan's probably dying inside." I panned the camera toward Nathan. Standing in the corner, his plum velvet suit looked like a bruise against the white wall. His spiritual connection facade had shattered, replaced by raw confusion. He wasn't just fooled, he was humiliated. What is this?" "This is the truth," I replied, my tone a symphony of sarcasm. "My channel, Debauchery and Debunkery, thrives on truth, and buddy, you just became the main course." I pointed at the empty armchair. "Bought at Target last week, a soulless hunk of foam and fabric." As Pete quietly took his payment and left, Nathan approached. He didn't shove, but placed a jet-black business card in my hand, as if it carried its own weight. Silver letters gleamed make-believe. "You don't understand," he whispered, his voice trembling not with anger but fear. "You're the perfect prey. Your skepticism isn't a shield, it's an invitation." I laughed, a haughty bark. But for a fleeting moment, I saw my father's reflection in Nathan's eyes. A razor-sharp memory surfaced. My father, hands shaking, pointing at a cheap wooden charm he'd traded his life savings for, his voice breaking. "But the prophet said it would heal your mother." That memory fueled the fire of my hatred. That night, the video exposing Nathan exploded online. But I felt no victory. Nathan's warning cut into an old scar. My mind kept replaying my father's image. In a moment of weakness, I watched a video by Leo, a younger debunker, rising fast. I recalled his email from months ago. "Max, your channel is the biggest inspiration for me to believe I'm not alone in this fight against lies." A bitter sense of kinship. Ping. A message from an unknown number. "They always choose people. Like you. The ones who think they're immune." It was Nathan. Toxic defiance surged. I stared at the business card. My fingers, as if with a will of their own, dialed the number. A low, ancient female voice, still as the bottom of a well, answered after a single ring. "Maxwell, I've been waiting." In that moment, the room seemed to tilt. I was no longer in my apartment. It wasn't a teleportation, but a distorted transition, like a fever dream. The air thickened, the scent of oak and dust flooding my lungs. I stood in a shop with no doors, a space woven from the skepticism of people like me. The woman sat behind a desk, her pitch-black eyes not reflecting light. They absorbed it. "Your father had a choice," she said, her voice ripple-free. "He chose blind faith. You chose absolute skepticism. Both are extremes, and I live in the middle." "What are you?" I asked, crossing my arms, a futile gesture of defense. "I'm a parasite," she replied matter-of-factly. "I don't feed on souls. I feed on the logic humans build. I don't create events, Maxwell. I'm a keen observer, knowing how to nudge the flow of fate. I plant a seed of doubt in the gullible and a seed of the supernatural in the skeptic. When their foundation of belief crumbles, that's when I feast." She pointed at the armchair in my apartment through a mirror on the desk. It's not haunted. It's an idea made solid, woven from the fears of people like you. As long as people fear and doubt me, it exists. Here's the deal, 5 days. If you hold on to your truth, I leave, but if you believe it, you must find me another fortress to conquer. And if I refuse, she smiled. The deal began when you called. You've already agreed to play. Now the performance starts. She didn't look at tarot cards, but through me. I only nudge the fates of those around you. Everything's logical, isn't it, Max? Everything. Unfolded like a scripted play. Sarah's call, then Pete's. His voice was choked terror. Mac, someone's sitting in the chair, watching me, clapping, but there's no sound. Pete, stop it, I roared, anger my last wall. Against my crumbling reason, I hung up. The next day, news of Pete's death broke. Acute heart failure. Perfectly logical, and that made it scarier. That night I re-watched the Nathan expose video. I saw it. A glitch in the footage, and in a single frame, the woman's silhouette in the chair staring straight at the lens, smiling. My apartment became a lab. I called an audio engineer friend. Nothing there, Max. He left, eyeing me with pity. I checked security footage, but the recordings from times I heard laughter were inexplicably corrupted. I found another logical flaw. When I placed a digital clock in front of the chair and filmed it, the playback showed the numbers jump backward a millisecond. In panic, I grabbed my phone, my laptop. All showed similar glitches, small but growing cracks in the fabric of reality. It wasn't terrifying, it enraged me. It was evidence. I resolved to burn the chair. As flames roared, a ghostly whisper, like a satisfied sigh, rose from the blaze. The next morning it was back, but imperfect. The fabric bore a faint scorch mark. I tried an axe, but the blade left only a shallow scratch before dulling. My final attempt was industrial acid. The corrosive hissed, then evaporated, leaving the chair's surface pristine. I found Nathan in a dive bar. She wants that moment, he rasped. The moment a debunker like you believes. The only choice she gives us is get eaten or find her another meal. But there's a third way, Max. Stop playing. Accept destruction. As I left, my phone buzzed. A message from Nathan. She took my wife. Don't let her take your sister. The only way to win is to not play her game. I called the number back instantly. The number you have dialed does not exist. Days later, I read about an unidentified man jumping into a river. His description matched Nathan. Worried for me, Sarah took action. That night she had a nightmare. She saw me gaunt, eyes sunken, muttering about physics. A calm voice spoke in the dream. You can heal him. Waking in a cold sweat, she searched for make-believe. On an old forum, she found a post about a psychological game. As she tried to screenshot it, the screen glitched. Text appeared. He needs help, not more doubt. Blocked, guided by the dream and warped love, she called the number on the card. When she told me, I knew my own foundation of belief was being exploited through the person I loved most. When I got home, Sarah was there. Her face was ashen. She spoke to me, Max. She said she'd heal you if I believed she could. Then it happened. The chair began to warp. Its fabric unraveled into threads, wrapping Sarah like a cocoon. I lunged, but my hands passed through the threads like smoke. One woman appeared. "A fortress about to fall," she whispered. "Time to choose dessert, Maxwell. Believe I exist or give me another skeptic to play with. One name and your sister goes free." The choice of Cain: sacrifice a stranger to save my sister. I let out an inhuman scream. I had lost. "Fine." "Leo!" I shouted, the name of the kid who called me his idol. The moment the name left my lips, the threads released Sarah. The woman rose, stepping toward me. "You offered another," she said. "That's not belief, it's acknowledgement. You acknowledged my game is real, and for someone like you, acknowledgement is the highest form of faith." She didn't touch me. I staggered back and fell into the chair. It didn't consume me. It welcomed me. I felt my body turn translucent, merging with the fabric and wood. I was a prisoner in my own home. I saw Sarah frantically dialing 911. I saw my phone on the table. With a final surge of will, a last spark of defiant skepticism, I controlled it. One last video uploaded to debauchery and debunkery. Black screen. My voice urgent but clear. "It doesn't eat souls, it eats certainty. Don't confront it, don't believe, don't doubt, ignore it. If you can't collaborate, it's strongest alone, weakest when exposed." The phone number is a trap to start the game, but it's also its address. "Don't call, track it together," the video posted. In the real world, Sarah stared at her brother's phone and saw the final video. Below it, a comment popped up from Leo199. "Got Max's message. I didn't call, I sent the number to a group of cybersecurity friends. We're tracing its source. The game's changed, Max. Now we're the hunters." In the room, the armchair shuddered one last time. The faint scorch mark on its armrest spread into a real crack, and a tiny, ancient speck of dust fell from it, dissolving before hitting the floor. The curse wasn't broken, but it was wounded. For the first time in centuries, the parasite felt pain, and in the infinite space of the chair, the remnant of my consciousness smiled. I may have lost the battle, but I just started a war.
In the shadow of my archive, a new horror stirs. Hate to listen.